Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're a little too strong. I think we're a little too strong-willed for a Kardashian. But I don't know. Caitlyn, though, what a fucking dime.
All right.
Caitlyn Jenner, everybody.
I'll drink her Coca-Cola.
I bet you will. The next governor of California. Caitlyn Jenner, everybody. Hello, and welcome to a fresh, never-before-recorded episode of No Expectations Podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm James. And I'm Max.
And today we are talking about the 1992 fantastic classic starring Michael Douglas, Robert Duvall, and Barbara Hershey, Falling Down. Who directed and who wrote it, James?
So this is, was it written by Joel Schumacher?
Director
was Joel Schumacher.
Yeah,
directed by Joel Schumacher.
The late, great.
The writer's Eb Smith.
Eb Smith. Yeah, we did some research on him, and he actually was a very successful character actor. He still is to this day. If you look at his IMDb, he's done like 50 plus projects. Like he's been on a bunch of TV shows, like super successful character actor, but he only wrote like this and I think one other thing, and like that's it. So he wasn't really known for being a writer.
Else.
He's known for being an actor, which I respect. And it seemed like his one really good script idea actually fell into the right hands and got made by a genius and a fantastic group
and
of
a
actors.
very great movie. It's fantastic.
Love this movie. So I've loved this movie ever since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching this movie probably for the first time when I was maybe like 9 or 10, and I didn't really grasp the full impact of it at the time. I just thought it was a cool movie because it had some cool action, and I liked the vibe of it. But the older I got, the more I appreciated it. The more I realized, holy crap, this is like a masterpiece.
Yeah, this was another movie that I got from you during I think it was middle school. So yeah, we were young.
Yeah.
You're like, here, check this movie out.
Yeah, we were quite the film connoisseurs. We were like 12 years old. I'm like, oh yeah, Michael Douglas. Robert Duvall's the shit.
Yeah, no, I had never seen it, and you said that this would probably be top 5.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't wrong. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah,
I'm glad. Well, I know what you like, and I just think a movie like this, it's hard not to like. It's like so real, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. But I think this movie, like the entire thing, is like hitting on a nerve.
Yeah,
there's like something that's like stressful about it, deliberately, and it just works. It's like that stress of like an uncomfortable confrontation, a bit of an adrenaline rush, and just like frustration, and it's like all encompassed in one perfect movie.
Yeah, this movie's I would say like still hits today. Like it's timeless.
Yeah,
like
I would say if not now, like or now more than ever.
Yeah, well, now way more than ever. Yeah,
I mean it's sort of like George Orwell, where it's like now it's pertinent information.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, something about it's like the writing. It's just a perfect storm. Like you think how difficult it is to make a short film, then you think how difficult it must be to make a movie. And then it's like you get a perfect script. Well, it seemed like it. A perfect director, Joel Schumacher. What the heck? Lost Boys, Flatliners, and then Falling Down. Like, dude, the guy has range.
And then Batman.
Yeah, and then Batman Forever and Batman Robin, which holds a special place in my heart. But man, to do in the same decade to make those movies, like talk about diversity.
Wait, how many in 1 year?
He did, well, not in 1 year, in one decade. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it was like he did Flatliners, he did Falling Down, he did Batman Forever, he did Batman and Robin, and I think he might have fit one more movie in that decade. But talk about like a strange, eclectic mix of movies. But anyway, so when you're watching Batman and Robin and you're looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, just remember that man directed Falling Down. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, perfect storm and an incredible cast. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure there's a couple side characters that might be a little over the top, but like for the most part, everyone was perfect. Everyone who was an important character was perfectly cast.
I mean, I wouldn't even say the most important characters, even like the side characters. I would say like just him at the restaurant and also like the behind the clerk, the manager and everything, just all fit in.
Everyone who was a villain, except for the guy at the phone booth, that guy was a bad actor, but I still love that scene. But everyone else was like the gangbangers, fantastic cast. Like they were so good, like they were so believable. And like the guy in the army surplus store, like the Nazi guy, fantastic. Like Robert Duvall, incredible. His what would you call her? Like not partner, but the female cop.
The female cop. I guess I wouldn't say partner, but it was
Officer S. Just his friend at
Rachel Ticotin.
Beautiful woman, by the way. But yeah, Barbara Hershey and like everyone in that movie was just so good. Robert Duvall's character I loved so much because he's such a good actor, and you really feel for him, and he's so like kind of passive and kind of like everyone like kind of disrespects him and walks all over him, and like you really feel that with him. You see he's just trying to kind of go through his day, kind of try to have a good time and a good attitude, and everyone just kind of shits on him.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
And it was his last day as an officer, too.
And they're just like disrespecting him. Finally, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, he like really like finds his voice and like
proves himself.
he really mans up and like shows that like he's always been a badass. He's just been kind of like trying to be a people pleaser, and he really steps up at the end there. And like, fantastic, dude. And what I love is it's almost like two movies going together, and I love that, like how it's like the story of Robert Duvall's last day, and then Michael Douglas his last day essentially as well.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like his last day as well.
Yeah, his last day. I'm going home.
Tempting to go home.
Yeah, on your last day, you can stop wearing the mask. You can stop putting up with bullshit and kind of be yourself. I mean, it's like, who's coming with me, man? You can if you put in those 2 weeks, that's a dangerous time for your manager.
I always find that an amazing thing that people are still so loyal after they put in their 2 weeks. Like, I get it, you need like a recommendation or something, but for jobs you don't give a shit about, like that's pretty. That's
how I put it. I'm like, I usually say to anyone who's quitting, I'm like, do you see yourself like going to like go back to this work?
Yeah.
No, then like, who gives a fuck?
And my thing is like, do you really need the recommendation? If it's a place you've been at for years and you're going to stay in that same kind of work, yeah, be cool. Get a good letter of recommendation from them, leave on good terms. But if it's just a fly-by-night, whatever, couple months job, fuck them.
Yeah, but it's just integrity. If you have a relationship with your manager, like,
yeah, of course.
It depends on where you're working too.
Totally. Yeah.
I actually got fired from a job. Well, they had somebody, like a new buyer for the coffee shop, to come in, and he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to be here to improve the coffee shop, and he ended up buying it, but he was lying to everybody. And so on the floor one day, he like gave me a bold-faced lie. I'm like, you're a phony. You're a fucking phony.
You're a phony. Hey, this guy's a great big phony. That's right. You're a big fat phony. Hey, you know who lives in this house? A great big phony. That's right. A phony lives here. A big fat phony. Wasn't gonna jump. You're a phony. Hey, everybody. This guy's a great big phone!
And then I'm like, I quit. This is insane. But then they convinced me to like stay for another week so that they could find help. Mm-hmm. But everybody came with me. So I come back to the coffee shop to finish.
That's awesome.
And I was the only one left.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's a breaking point that Michael Douglas hits in this movie that is, it's fun to watch.
So speaking of it,
you can't not watch.
We haven't even discussed what the movie is about.
Yeah, so Falling Down, if you guys haven't seen it, is about Michael Douglas, and he is basically a man who's fed up. He's like at his wit's end, and you really don't know much about him in the beginning, which is fantastic. It's like, I think that works for the character. You just know that he's the everyman, and he's like kind of he's a relic of another time, kind of like Robert Duvall is as well.
Yeah.
And basically he hits his breaking point. The stress of modern society at the time this movie was made just gets to him. He gets out of his car and he leaves. He abandons his car. Then he goes across this crazy walk across the ghetto in LA, and he runs into all these characters that just like totally clash with his personality and his vibe. And he gets fed up and he starts flipping out and he starts wreaking havoc across the city. And it's just an interesting character study on someone who's like just fully fed up with everything.
Losing it, yep.
Yeah, and then also Robert Duvall, who's like the really the protagonist. Well, not the protagonist, but he is, yeah. Because I mean, Michael Douglas is kind of the antagonist. So yeah, Duvall's the protagonist, and he's trying to like solve this one last big case on his last day. And you kind of see that he's like out of step with his time. Also, like he's ready to retire. Everyone else is kind of moving forward without him. And they're both really similar. I've never really thought about that, but they're both kind of similar in a different way.
It's kind of hard to say who's the villain in this movie up until. I mean, still for me, I'm like, I really feel for Michael Douglas's character.
I root for Michael Douglas the whole time. I always have. But watching it again with a fresh set of eyes and not having watched it all the way through in a couple years, you really see that, like, oh, yeah, Michael Douglas really doesn't realize he's the bad guy until the very last, like, 2 minutes of the movie. Like, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he says, I'm the bad guy?
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
And he says it like with such conviction. You're like, oh wow, he really thought he was doing the right thing, and he was just standing up for himself, standing up for his rights as a consumer.
Another movie that I really liked that you had suggested to me that we did in an earlier episode, Mosquito Coast.
Great freaking
And
movie.
it really reminds me of that character where he's like, you know, has really strong values, very American, anti-Nazi, anti-communism, like, you know, freedom man. And, you know, we got to have people to fight for freedom while as the world's falling down, I guess. So,
yeah. And one thing that I noticed too, you probably caught this too. Anytime he'd have the snow globe, it would be like London Bridge is falling down. Ding, 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 ding. That was a song, and I was like, oh, falling down. And also, Prendergast was going to move to Lake Havasu, where London Bridge is.
Yeah, did he? I'm trying to remember. Was he singing it to his wife as well?
Yeah.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. Help me out now, come on. My fair lady. You my fair lady.
He was. So London Bridge was throughout the whole.
It was a
idea.
connection.
You were never
Because
connected that.
London Bridge.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like what I was thinking was in Lake Havasu. Remember they were saying London Bridge is there. It was moved there. So that's where he's going, and then also London Bridge is falling down.
Oh,
the movie's called Falling Down. Michael Douglas's existence is falling down.
Oh, shit! That just like kind of blew my mind.
Some deep shit right there, and it's connected, and it's a song that like pops up throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I guess I will have to rewatch this movie at some point.
So good, so good. But I will say the acting in this is like 10 out of 10. If you love a good character-driven performance, this movie is like so well
I will
acted.
say, I think you would agree too. This is my favorite Michael Douglas film.
110%. Yeah.
I mean, this is one of my favorite films in general.
Yes.
And I thank
Mine
you
too.
for that.
Mine too. Yeah. But yeah, Michael Douglas actually said in an interview this was the favorite movie of his that he ever made.
And didn't you? I remember you told me this in the past. Didn't his dad?
Yes.
Say it was one of his favorite movies that he's done too.
Yes. Kirk Douglas said it was his son's best performance that he'd have ever seen. So pretty amazing.
That's really neat.
So I got pulled up the first scene when he's left his car and he goes into the convenience store. He's asking for a Coke.
85 cents. 85 cents.
And you know, there's these small inconveniences in the movie that lead up to just this ultimate breakdown.
Yeah, this is a great scene here, and this is just like this is kind of the tipping point right here for him. And what I thought was so amazing with the pacing of this movie, this happens like actually the first action sequence here happens 10.5 minutes into the movie. So like literally like this movie is so quick, so rapid fire.
You never like get bored at all
never,
with this film. Like you just want to keep watching it. And like usually there's I'm sitting there in background noise playing on my phone, but this one like I put my phone aside and I'm just directly have my full attention to this film.
Yeah. If you guys have never seen this movie, like absolutely 110% check it out. And I know we say that about a lot of movies, but like this one is like seriously one of the best. This is like a top tier, like near perfect film, if not a perfect film in my opinion. Like it's so good, guys. It's so good.
For me, the pacing, it just kept going and going. Where I tend to have a little bit of ADD going on, so it's hard for me to sit through a whole movie and like really stay focused.
Yeah.
But with this movie, like every time I'd sort of get a lull, it would pull me back in. And just really reel me back in.
It was so good.
I really like that about this movie.
It was so good. And I love how he's almost like in a weird way, he's almost like a time traveler. Like I know he's not, but like he just like seems like he never progressed past, like he says, I'm rolling back, price is 1965. It's like in his head he like never went past that. Like he's so, and then you look at his life and you see that like, spoiler alert, his marriage fell apart. He's living with his mom who's kind of wacky. And what I thought was so interesting too is when Prendergast, Robert Duvall's character, talks to Michael Douglas's mom, he kind of uses the same tools and tricks that he uses with his wife, who's kind of wacky, to like connect with her. And I thought that was super interesting.
I like that.
So like, there's a lot of parallels with even like those women being in both those guys' lives. It's like they have like very similar existences, just they have different jobs.
It's just such a great film.
So good. It's so perfect, man.
Did you have a favorite scene?
Dude,
there's a lot. I have one favorite scene.
Go ahead.
It's like I think it's an hour and 21 minutes in. It's the golf course scene.
Oh, the golf course scene's great.
That one's, oh my god.
And like I said, guys, if you've never seen this movie, heavy spoilers here, okay?
Yeah, that's kind of a theme on our channel.
Yeah.
That's why we really encourage you to watch the movie with us.
Watch the movie beforehand, yeah. But definitely check it out here.
He's just walking past, man. He just wants to go home.
Going home. Try to kill me with a golf ball?
So
there he is.
Yeah, he gets pissed off, scares the guy.
He's dressed like G.I.
falls
Joe.
down, has a heart attack. it's hilarious. And then he shoots the golf cart, the golf cart, and then it just rolls down the road, and the guy's just having a heart attack. He's like, "What do you need? Is there something that you need?" He's like, "Pills, pills." He's like, yeah.
Masterpiece.
Oh, it's just I just love it. I just love it, like that scene when it just happens.
So good.
Yeah, here we go. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
easy. I think what's so interesting too is like it's kind of relatable. I feel like we've all been like disrespected by people, and
Oh yeah.
had people just give us shit that's totally unwarranted.
Yeah.
And I think deep down, all of us have a little bit of defense inside of us, and a little bit of that Michael Douglas wanting to flip out on these people.
I say this all the time. As like I feel like there has to be a point, like, or just in school when kids are growing up, like they have to do like some kind of customer service class just to know how
Absolutely.
to treat people, because then you're gonna deal with fuckers like this in the real world.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man. Like I hate being treated like that.
Yeah, nobody
And
likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. You know, you treat people like this, it's gonna happen.
Oh,
spoiler.
We're getting a little bleed over into the other
Yeah.
episode. There we go.
Yeah, but working in customer service myself, I find that they encourage you to sort of compromise your morality or your values to appease somebody else. And it's sort of that can build up over time.
Yeah.
And I can see Michael Douglas just by his appearance. He looks like he's a pretty meek guy before he puts on all the fatigues and has the bag of guns.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna die with that little dumb.
I think it's important to like sort of let this out, you know, sort of if you have something that's conflicting with your inner values, to just let it rip.
Totally.
Be healthy about it, you know, as it comes up, or else it builds up.
It
Exactly.
does. Yeah.
That's why it's good to have an outlet. Otherwise, you have massacres.
True.
So I think, this movie's super important. And like I said, it's more relevant than ever. It's like it's never gone out of date. It's like, sure, the cars change, the technology changes, but the message is always the same.
Yep.
It's always consistent. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like it resonated with me as a kid, which doesn't even really make sense. It's like just as a kid, I just thought, oh, cool action, you know, kind of like the same appeal of an anti-hero. You know,
That's what I remember watching it too as well. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then like rewatching it again, I was like, there's more to this.
Yeah, I'm like,
that message that they're
deep,
showing.
Yeah, this is like all of our inner frustrations with the decay of the world and the disrespect of society and the bullshit that people have to contend with, and the things that you just have to accept. And it's like he's basically like, I feel like in a crazy way, like deconstructing society. Like he's like walking through places that like he's like, you're not supposed to be here, but he's like, why? He's like, why am I not supposed to be here? Excuse me, on your piece of shit hill. Like he's like, that's one of my favorite scenes.
Did you catch like what did he do for a job?
He used to work on building missiles.
Building missiles
for the government back in the day, and then he spoiler alert, he lost his job, and so he's literally just like driving around aimlessly, and like it's kind of unclear like what he's doing now.
Yeah, it's honestly unclear like when he lost his job, because
they did say.
Did it say?
They did say, yeah, when they go and talk to his mom, it was Duvall and his friend look into it, and he said he was let go over a month ago.
Okay, so he's just driving around with his briefcase with spoiler alert, nothing inside of it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna say spoiler alert anymore.
I need to get a button where I can just go spoiler alert like on a radio show.
It's just implied. So no more spoiler alerts. I mean, we're gonna say spoilers, but just know that they're coming always.
Yeah.
But what a great movie. Can we go to the scene where he's with the gangsters on the hill?
Yeah. Oh, I love that scene.
Freaking scene.
Yeah. Try and find that here.
Give us a briefcase, motherfucker.
That's one of the
You
first
want my
scenes. Here we go.
Dude, that is such a good scene.
Fucks him up.
That's when like you can feel the tension. It's like palpable. Like talk about great actors. Everyone in the scene.
He does everything that we want to do.
Yeah. Check this out. Check this scene out.
And so he has a hole in the bottom of his shoe. That's why he's putting papers in there.
Yeah. Hey, mister, what you doing? Minding my own business. Oh, it's so good, man. Can we hear any of this or no?
Oh yeah, sure.
I didn't see any signs. What you call that?
Graffiti?
Graffiti? No. That's not fucking graffiti. That's a sign. He can't read it.
Are we good on copyright if it's
I'll read it for you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Says this is fucking private property.
Even with that, it's
No
still gonna
fucking
hit it.
trespass.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. It's fine.
Says
This
all
is
that.
for the viewers,
Yeah.
This is for the
not
viewers.
for the money guys.
Maybe wrote it in fucking English I could fucking understand. So, it's really funny. I'm not laughing. I'm not either. Wait, hold, fellas. We're getting off on the wrong foot here, okay? This is a gangland thing, isn't it? We're having a territorial dispute. I mean, wandered into your pissing ground or whatever.
Ooh, nice sound design there.
Taking offense with my presence.
He did such a great job of amping up the tension.
Yeah.
People in my backyard either.
Even just like the score behind this just keeps building up the tension.
It's haunting.
So you just back up a step or two. Take my
They captured that
process
feeling of what it feels like to be in a confrontation and like stretched it
Fair
out.
enough. What do you think? I think you should be a toll.
It's a great shot.
Good idea.
A lot of great cinematography.
Should be a toll. Listen, fellas, I've had a really rare morning. And I'm not in the mood to
Get him, Michael.
Hey, how about that fucking briefcase, man? Good idea. Give us your briefcase, man.
There's nothing in it. There's a sandwich.
It's just, I love how it's just the principle of the thing.
Briefcase. Motherfucker, give us your motherfucking briefcase.
Cool knife.
Okay.
So good.
Okay. And I was willing to mind my own business.
I feel like this is really the
I
turning
was willing
point
to
where he
respect
goes
your
from
territory and treat you like
going
a man.
from,
You
like,
couldn't leave it alone, could you?
kind of being frustrated to really
Really
flipping
fucking
out.
Get a
Yeah.
man.
Like he fucked up the
Sit
store
here for
before,
5
but this is
minutes
like
and take
actually
the rest
hurting
of your
people.
precious
Yeah, he
piece
didn't
of
hurt, he
shit
didn't hit
health.
the guy in the store, but
Yeah.
now he's about to get violent.
He's just
Yeah.
bubbling him.
Yeah, well, it's also,
Everything up, and
also
then
he's
it's
been
really
pushed to the edge though.
Alright,
Like they
have
started
the
it, you know what I
briefcase
mean?
here. You want a briefcase? Here's my briefcase. Briefcase, huh?
Nice moves.
Here.
He beats the shit out of him.
It was so hard he went flying down the stairs.
I love the scene later on when they come back and they
so
do the drive by
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
they just
God.
completely fucking miss him.
And shoot up an entire bodega.
Yeah, and they get killed.
Yeah.
They kill themselves running into something.
Take some shooting lessons, asshole.
I'm going home.
So good, man. So good. Heck yeah, that was like brilliant.
Loved it.
Absolutely brilliant.
Still love
But yeah, if you guys have not seen this, go watch it like right after this. But hopefully you watched it before this episode.
Did
But
you guys
dude,
do recasting for this?
I did.
Yes.
Oh,
Keep
nice.
talking.
What did you think for this
My
one?
favorite segment, and it was so tough because like this is so
It is
brilliantly
tough.
cast. Like they did such a good job. Marion Dougherty is the casting director, and I actually watched a whole documentary on her. And she's like super like she's not uncredited, but like just people don't talk about her as much as they should. She's been like casting movies since the 70s, and like
Oh, wow.
she casted like so many important movies through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like a super important casting director who just would like hit the nail on the head with so many movies that we love. And she did casting directing for this movie, and I think she did a 10 out of 10 job.
What's another movie that she's in?
I'd have to see her IMDb, but like she, let me see. I'll pull it up.
What's her name?
I believe it's Marion Dougherty, Doughty. IMDb. But yeah, she's one of those that like casted so many movies.
Let's see here.
So I'm just very curious.
Yeah, let's check it out.
How would she recast the movie? Well, she wouldn't.
This is how she
She's-
cast it.
Awful Metal Jacket. As
Urban
well.
Cowboy. Spies Like Us.
Where is Falling Down?
Is this the right person?
I don't know.
Oh,
they're
as a casting director.
director.
What
There
is
we
that
go.
for casting
Casting department. So
There we
casting
go.
director. There we go.
All right.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon, Conspiracy Theory,
Ah.
Falling Down,
Gremlins.
Batman Returns, The Last Boy Scout, Doc Hollywood, fun.
Batman.
Yep. Gremlins 2, The New Batch, Batman,
Lost Boys.
Funny Farms, Chevy, Lost Boys. Yeah, so she already knew. She already knew Joel. National Lampoon's European
Escape
Vacation.
from Alcatraz.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, she did a lot. Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow, and we're looking at the
Going
70s
early.
now.
Oh, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
No way.
1971.
Wow.
Midnight Cowboy, 69. Oh, going since the 60s. Okay.
50s.
Wow, look at that.
Start
back to the
tonight.
50s. Anyway, Marion Dougherty, everybody.
Oh, so I guess she worked on some of these pilot episodes.
Yeah, an underrated and unsung Hollywood hero behind the scenes.
But I'm not. Oh, here's Falling Down.
Yeah, check out the documentary about it if you get a chance. It was just one of those that kind of shows somebody who behind the scenes was super important but didn't really get the accolades they deserved. But yeah, let's do alternate casting. My favorite.
So you want me to
favorite
kick it
segment.
off? All
Yeah,
right.
kick it off.
This was tough, but I think they work.
Okay.
Now that I know that Lethal Weapon, so it actually works pretty well.
Okay.
For Michael Douglas' character, I put Mel Gibson.
Nice.
Like yeah, around that age, in the 90s, right there.
Good choice.
Robert Duvall, I think this is Tommy Lee Jones. I just feel like he always plays that kind of character. I did like a few of them. So even Rachel Ticotin, who was like the girl cop, I did Sandra Bullock.
Interesting choice.
Mhm.
She had crossed my mind, definitely. That Speed era. It would have been like same era as Speed, pretty much.
Yeah.
A couple years earlier,
Mhm.
but you know.
And then I did her partner, who was very forgettable. DW
Hey, Honey Buns.
Mo.
That guy's a dick.
Mofet. I chose Emilio Estevez.
Okay.
And then I did for director, if there was someone else to direct this film, I did Michael Mann.
Tremendous choices. Tremendous.
Thank you.
All right, mine are for defense. For Bill was his name, Michael Douglas's character. Kurt Russell, Harrison Ford, or Jeff Bridges. Those are my choices.
Jeff.
For Robert Duvall's character, Prendergast, I chose Dennis Hopper, James Caan, or Donald Pleasance. For director, Walter Hill, Michael Mann, or John McTiernan of Die Hard and Predator fame.
I like that, John McTiernan. That
yeah.
would have been good.
Yep, that's all I got. But dude, man, hard to beat the original casting. But who did you pick, man?
I picked for Michael Douglas, Jason Statham. I was getting real Speed vibes from
Jason
this,
Statham.
and I mean, it would kind of make it ridiculous and destroy the movie, but I would love to see that.
It'd be fun.
I'd just like to see that.
I'm not giving him a fucking briefcase.
For Barbara Hershey, I was gonna do Marge Gunderson from Fargo.
Marge Simpson. Nice.
Oh, what's her name? That
oh,
actress? Frances McDormand.
Frances
Oh,
McDormand.
Frances
Yeah.
McDormand.
That's actually a
yeah.
really good choice.
That is a good
Um,
choice.
And Robert De Niro for the cop. Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
That'd be an interesting choice.
Oh, I actually had an alternate one. I forgot for Michael Douglas. Another one, just Denzel Washington.
Oh, that is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Denzel could pull it off. Man on Fire vibes.
Man on Fire and
Yeah.
Training Day. Just him losing his shit there. Then
So speaking of movies like that, what are some other movies you recommend if people like Falling Down? They are similar that you would recommend.
for I would say what was it last year? I wouldn't say it is as good, but it's just a guy losing his shit too. Would be Unhinged with Russell Crowe.
So good to see it.
Yeah, I recommend it. I mean, it's fun. A lot of people don't really like it, but for the violence, just think of like a guy just losing his shit, but it's like Michael Myers like
That's awesome.
standards.
That's
I don't
awesome.
want to spoil any more of it because I want you to watch it.
Yeah, I
It's-
really want to watch it. I hear good things.
And
I hear good things.
another one, I would say Punisher with
Mhm.
Thomas Jane's Punisher.
The best Punisher.
The best Punisher.
The best
yes.
Punisher,
Mhm.
guys. You heard it here.
I think I had another one, but yeah, you go ahead.
Mine are 100%. I agree with you on those choices. Well, at least for Punisher, because I love that Punisher. But Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, directed by Michael Mann. Similar pacing to the script, where it's like you really don't have any fat on the script. Like everything's significant, everything's important. There's no wasted scenes. Everything leads into the next scene like really fluidly, and it all takes place within 24 hours. Like
Oh, yeah.
Collateral's all in one night. Falling Down's all in one day.
One of my favorite Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Like I love Collateral, and I would also say, yeah, if you like this type of vibe, yeah, arguably Die Hard. I mean, obviously everyone's seen Die Hard, but same kind of pacing, like a pretty much flawless script.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say The Warriors, because all those take place in one night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, The Warriors take place in one night. So it's Die Hard.
Yeah, so I was thinking along the lines of Speed for the pacing and
Yep.
sort of anti-hero. We could go with Punisher.
Totally,
We could go with the Joker,
definitely.
where he's pretty mad at society. He's just letting it all go.
Society.
Living in a society.
Yeah, I'd say those are good ones.
Those are
And
good.
If you haven't seen Joker, that's probably one of my favorite, more modern.
I enjoyed Joker.
movies.
Yeah, I saw Joaquin's coming back for Joker number 2.
Ooh.
Joker number 2, and I'm hoping. I know it seems like these new ones aren't into connecting any kind of universe, which I respect. But it would be cool to see Robert Pattinson's Batman connect with Joaquin's Joker.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
I'm excited for the new Batman.
I am stoked for the new Batman. There's something about this scene right here. The scene.
Oh, one more
can we get some-
Taxi Driver.
Oh,
Oh,
Taxi Driver. Can we get some
yeah.
volume on this right here?
Oh, yeah, turn it up.
It's a great scene right here. But Taxi Driver, hell yeah.
Take some shooting lessons, asshole.
So well cast. So well cast. Oh my god. Sorry, I just had to throw that.
Oh,
in.
there's not much you can do at this point, lady.
But one thing I love about this movie is like they do such a good job of bouncing back and forth from Michael Douglas's character to Robert Duvall's character, and like you see his journey through the day, and then Michael Douglas's journey through the day, and it just keeps amping up for both of them. It keeps the stakes keep getting higher every like 10 minutes in the movie.
It starts with small
And
inconveniences.
it's Robert Duvall just giving his information about, hey, this guy's running around. They don't care. They don't care what Robert Duvall has to say.
They did such a good job of treating him like shit, and that's why you're like, he's the underdog, even though he's really like the main hero of the story. It's like he's really an underdog that no one respects up until the very, very end. So yeah, fantastic job. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, the Foo Fighters music video for Walk off Wasting Light, one of my favorite Foo Fighters albums. The music video for Foo Fighters Walk was paying homage to Falling Down. And like literally if you watch it, it's like, cut by cut, the same thing. It's so good, except Dave Grohl has a guitar case instead of a briefcase full of guns.
Sorry about the ad, guys.
No, it's okay. This one will have to be careful
Yeah,
with audio for sure.
So it's shot for shot. Like they
it's
instead of saying defense on his license plate, it says D Grohl.
D Grohl.
That's what I still
Clever.
like too for the credits. His name is just Defense.
Defense, yeah. Even though they called him William and Bill,
yep.
in the movie. They're like defense. Same with the black guy that played Not Economically Viable. That was like the character's name. Like,
really?
The man was called.
I love when films do that.
Yeah, he said not economically viable guy. Don't forget me. That guy was great. Like I said, even little characters like that, perfectly cast. Like you may be on screen for like a minute, but like it's gonna count,
Yeah, he just stepped in some dog shit.
Love this. Definitely my favorite.
Oh, there's the gangland people. Oh.
And all those guys are in the band. There's Taylor Hawkins. Like, so good.
That's funny.
So good.
Combined, basically the golf course. Oh, yeah.
Yep, all the elements. he's just fucking up all the bandmates.
That's funny. That's great.
So good.
Oh.
Yeah, if you guys haven't listened to Wasting Light by Foo Fighters, seriously, one of their best albums. Like, I saw them on that tour back like 2012, maybe something like that. Seriously, like so good. So good. Dave Grohl, I think, has a good taste in entertainment.
Yeah, that's man.
That's a
I'm
deep
glad.
cut.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a deep cut. Let's see, what else? There's something else I wanted to talk about in this movie, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, one thing I was appreciating was just Robert Duvall as a whole as an actor. I feel like when I was younger, like, yeah, he's in the movie and I appreciate him, but now I like really, really respect him so much more. Like looking at all the stuff he's done, like knowing about Apocalypse Now, knowing about Lonesome Dove, knowing about The Godfather, and just seeing how
Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell.
Kicking and Screaming, yeah. Just I don't know, man. There's something about him where just like he's been a constant, like Clint Eastwood. Obviously, a different type of constant, but I would say Robert Duvall, Tommy Lee Jones, Clint Eastwood. Those are guys that like. It seems like they're never going away, and like those are guys that are gonna die on set.
And they they haven't sold out.
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I mean, I make the joke with Kicking and Screaming, but I'm like, it's a good film.
Yeah,
his character in there.
What is that movie?
It's him and Will Ferrell. And it's a soccer one, and then he was just a rival coach of his son.
Like,
so
Will
Ferrell
like,
is his son.
2003.
And he kicks basically his grandson out of his like team because like Robert Duvall was like this big name coach back in the day, and he coaches like soccer for kids.
That's awesome.
And then it's just a rivalry, dad and son.
He's out of his league.
Oh, we got to pick our hottie for the movie. I'm gonna go with. I think it's a tie for me. Barbara Hershey, and then the friend of Prendergast, the lady cop.
I want to go with
Rachel Tickerton.
Yeah,
Sandra.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Sandra.
Those are the cuties for me. If I had to pick Barbara Hershey, probably be my first choice. But Rachel's a cutie too, definitely. Always got to have a cutie in our movies.
I mean, I got kind of a hot take. not in the movie, but now Joey Singer, the daughter. She's a looker.
Let's take a look at
She
Joey
was,
Singer.
she was
just like
very young in the movie.
Yeah, she was just a kid.
Yeah, she still has a restraining order on Michael Douglas.
Oh, does she?
And she's actually successful in the industry now. She has a career as a music publisher.
That's pretty cool. She looks like a badass.
Dude, look at her titles, man.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Let's see, what does she have here? Read me some of the highlights. I can't really see it.
Outer Banks.
The Equalizer.
For One, Watchmen also. That was recently.
Wow.
So she works on 74 credits on a music department.
I really like that's cool. I really like badass musician chicks. I like the goth look a lot. I think that's really hot. I like the badass look. Like,
who was the other one that did that? Also, is the Grinch. The little the girl from the Grinch. Huh. She grew up to be like this rocker as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, a rocker lesbo?
I never said lesbo.
What'd you say?
As well.
Go as well. Okay. No hate.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like what you
I don't know about her sex life, but who knows?
We could find out. The Grinch. How the Grinch
you guys want to do ratings?
Yeah, let's do it. Kick it off.
Ratings.
Kick it off, Smurf boy.
I love the ratings.
I don't know. Smurf Grinch.
I don't know. That went. Okay. I'm gonna give this. This one's tough. But I want to say. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah. 5 stars.
5 stars.
5 thumbs up.
5 thumbs up.
5 big juicy thumbs up. That goes the same for me. 5 stars. 5 out of 5. In my mind, a perfect movie, and one of the movies I think that shaped my overall taste in movies. Like, because I saw it when I was young enough, and the fact that I still appreciate it now, like an important movie.
Yes.
Yep.
I'll give it a 4.9.
Okay.
You know,
Okay,
I want to leave some room for. I want to see a better movie, but I don't know if one's out there.
Yeah.
But if there is a better movie, I want to reserve that.
I
5.
respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. You've never given a 5 to any movie yet, have you? Like,
I think
ever?
I gave a movie.
I think it was the best in show.
Best in show.
Okay.
And I've rewatched it another time, and I'm sort of like, maybe that's a 4.8. Especially after seeing it's like on a sliding scale a little bit. So
I respect that. It's like you're always leaving a little room for more perfection.
Yeah. I think I jumped the gun with the 5 on that one, to be honest.
This is a movie I'd be really interested. Like I know it's perfect as is, and I don't want to fuck with it. But this is one I'd be really at least curious to see an extended cut.
Ooh.
It would probably mess up the pacing, and it might make it not as good. But I'm sure there were a few other encounters that he had that day. That
I
they
bet
didn't have
there's a
time
couple
for.
scenes.
How about this? Let's play the screenwriter and play the director. What is a scene you would have added into Falling Down, hypothetically, if you were directing it? Like, what's a scene that you think you would have added? Not that it needs it, but what's one that you think you might have done?
I want him to like stand up for the little guy. Just like I would say, like someone's getting like a parking ticket.
Okay,
and,
that's a
like,
good one.
He's like getting frustrated for the other guy.
Yeah. The closest we got was him punching out that guy yelling at the old lady in traffic.
Yeah,
but that's a good.
Yeah, I like that idea. Just him, because it's not just him; it's someone else.
Yeah, but that makes him more of a good guy.
What about you, Ben?
Dude. They like I said, they hit the nail on the head with so many good things. I would say kind of the same thing, like protecting somebody, like a. It would be kind of cliche, but like if there was like a mugging or like someone getting bullied or something like that.
I would say also because he really loves his daughter too. So I would say like group of parents being very disrespectful to a kid as well, and he just like he doesn't do that, but he like that one scene where he like gripped on the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Really
you can tell he has a good heart.
Yeah, he has a good heart. Yeah. So I would have something like that, like the parents are being assholes and just like he just sucks like when the dad or the face.
That's a good one. Another one that just kind of came to mind would be like maybe like getting on a bus for something and like someone like doesn't like give their seat up to like an old lady or something like that, and he like
see, there's so much you can do with this.
Yeah, beats him or cuts him or something. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it would be needed, but like
no, not necessary.
Just be cool to watch.
Yeah,
there's more of him losing his shit.
Yeah, the thing about the character is like you could put him in pretty much any environment and shit would go down. If anyone's like, if he has any like resistance, if anyone gives him any shit. But the whammy burger scene, definitely one of my favorites. But my thing is with this movie is pretty much every scene with Michael Douglas where he does anything that's even remotely intense is my favorite scene.
Yeah,
like it's like the whammy burger scene, the gangland scene, the shooting scene,
the golf course
scene, like the breaking up the store scene, like. All good, all perfect.
He nailed the intensity on this.
He did. He's great.
Guys, he shot a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
They showed a rocket launcher.
on accident. It's
Yes.
sort of a.
I love how the kid comes up. He's like, "No, that's not how you do it. That's not on TV."
It's really easy.
Where's the trigger?
That one right there. But aim first, man.
Okay.
Look out!
Nothing happened.
Must have been a dud or something like that.
Classic '90s kid. You know?
That's funny.
But yeah, super great movie. And one thing I will say about Michael Douglas is I feel like he doesn't get enough love.
Mm-mm.
I respect him so much as an actor. If you want to check out more movies with him, I highly recommend Romancing the Stone. Fatal Attraction is another great movie. I haven't seen Ant-Man, but you said he was good in there.
Yeah, I mean, for his character, he's not like
Yeah.
fully in there, but his character's good. I know you recommend also Wall Street.
Wall Street's a great freaking movie. You want a really good Michael Douglas movie?
What was that McDonald's movie?
That was the founder of
Is that Michael?
Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Okay.
But also a good movie. Also a
Mhm.
good movie. I'd like to have some Michael Keaton coming up here soon in some of our episodes. I'm a fan of Michael Keaton. Cutting the Cult, we were thinking in the future, no, not anytime soon, but in the future, doing the Tim Burton Batmans. And then
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think,
fun.
I think it'd be kind of fun to do the Schumacher
I haven't
ones
fully
too.
watched those. I need to watch those.
Dude, they're a blast. I would
Yeah.
love to watch those with you.
I just watching the clips of the villains it's just so it's really intense.
They're
Like,
amazing.
The
Yeah.
way it's shot, it looks like a comic book.
They did a great job, yeah, especially because nothing like that had been done on that scale. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I saw a behind the scenes video on
Mm.
all the practical effects that they did for Batman '89, and it was like straight up like a giant Batwing that they built that had real moving parts that they would
That's so
film,
cool.
and like they really went above and beyond for the effects because obviously they weren't using CGI at that time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Tim Burton did a great job. I know some people are like 50-50 on him now, but back '80s and '90s Tim Burton, like
Oh, he was great
genius.
back then, yeah.
Even early 2000s, I would say
Mhm.
like some of my favorite Tim Burton stuff. I feel like he and Joel Schumacher, like because of Batman, I feel like I kind of hold them like to an equal
Mhm.
esteem. But Tim Burton in the '80s, you had Pee-wee's Big Adventure, you had Beetlejuice, you had
Beetlejuice.
Batman. '90s, you had Edward Scissorhands, you had Batman Returns, you
Was
had
M-
Sleepy Hollow.
Was Mars Attack in the 90s?
Mars Attacks? Yeah, it's like, and then early 2000s, Big Fish.
Big Fish. One of my favorite
mean,
Tim Burton films.
Tim Burton's a genius. I would
Mhm.
love to do a segment or two on Tim Burton one of these days because I think he's
That'd be a
just
good one.
so great. Post 2005, not as much for me. I think he
I
started.
think once Charlie and the Chocolate Factory started
Ooh,
coming.
yeah.
That's
That
where I
was-
kind of
yeah.
lost it.
Then it
Not
was
good.
like, all right, let's throw a bunch of like pale makeup on Johnny
Yeah.
Depp and like throw him into a situation.
I
and, like,
enjoyed Dark Shadows. I think that was like the
That's
last
fine.
one.
That's
It's, I mean, just because you have Eva Green in there, it's
yeah,
just a babe.
yeah.
But the film's fun. I mean, you
Yeah.
got Johnny Depp in there, but it's a little bit too much. Like that's where he
Yeah.
starts like kind of going down. And, like what's the
Yeah.
other film like Mrs. Peculiar or something?
Oh yeah, the Mrs.
Mhm.
whatever.
There was some like really cool aspects of like that like gave me memories of like early Tim Burton. Like he did
Yeah.
stop motion in that film, but like the film
I
itself.
think one thing, and controversial take here, but one thing I think happened with Tim Burton is the same thing that happened with George Lucas. I think too much CGI kind of fucked him up as director.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hard for
yeah.
him.
I think a lot of artists will do better with less resources.
I
It kind of
agree.
forces them to be more creative.
There's something about them being younger and more hungry and more excited about the projects they're working on that makes it so much better. And then also having that lack of budget and lack of technology
Mhm.
seems to make much better stories and much better movies.
It kind of pinches more pressure on
It
the
pinches a loaf.
Mhm.
yeah, pinches that loaf.
It
Well,
does.
it's like when you got a hose and you have the end of the nozzle, you're kind of like restricting the flow a little
Ooh,
bit.
Don't tease me. Tease me with this R-rated talk here. But no, I agree. There's something about it. Less is more. And Falling Down is one of those movies that is a prime example of this. Not saying that Schumacher ever went down that path. His stuff was always quality, in my opinion.
Oh, didn't
Especially 80s
you?
and 90s.
Wasn't it like a fact about you were saying there was like riots going on? I remember you.
Oh,
mentioning that.
yeah. So at the time Falling Down was filmed in 1992, the Rodney King LA riots were going on. So the production had to film around actual riots and
Wow.
fires and looting that was going on at the
Mm.
time. Like literally, like this movie was like filmed around actual chaos. That was
That's cool.
That
similar
makes
to what
sense.
the movie
It
was
kind of
about.
contributes to that feeling.
Tell me if you guys think this is a real thing, but I think it is with movies and with music. There is a kind of undefined energy that gets captured in
Absolutely.
the era. And I think that's why
Mhm.
80s movies and 90s movies have a certain feel.
Feel to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But I think like
It's like a
there's-
distillation of that moment,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
it's like a fragment of time almost.
Exactly. Like they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's like how much is a movie worth? It's worth multiple episodes of people analyzing it and dissecting it. But it's like there's something about it. If you made Falling Down today, it would obviously not be the same movie. It would not be as good, and it would. I don't know. There's something about the time in which it's made that is so critical to the success of a movie. You know.
So, what are we watching next week?
Oh.
Another Joel Schumacher film.
Continuing the Schumacher trend.
With our favorite guy on the planet,
Nicolas Cage.
Ooh,
You're watching 8mm, everybody.
Big Nicky.
So go add 8mm to your watch list and watch it so you can know what the heck we're talking about on the next episode of No Expectations.
Do we have predictions for what the film might be?
Fuck, we haven't done this
I'll
in a while.
pull up
I'll post a picture and we'll talk about it. I'd like to hear Max's prediction first.
All right, we got Nicolas Cage. We got like a film reel on the left.
We had a debate on if 8mm were bullets, and it turns out they are, which
Yeah, they do make 8mm bullets.
Fun
Less
fact.
popular than the 9mm. Looks like for a rifle.
Mhm.
But yeah, he must find like a lost piece of film, and he's diving into a mystery. And I can see, there's probably some murder happening.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get to the bottom of it, or maybe to get a little bit more specific, maybe somebody was put to death or put in jail because of a murder, but it wasn't them, and he has to like go and uncover the mystery.
I have something similar to that. I don't think murder. I think kidnap. And then he's trying to find that's like the picture on the film is like the clue to find this missing. It looks like a girl, I believe. So he's just trying to hunt down where this little girl is.
Okay. I think he's a private investigator, and I think he kind of gets in over his head with this investigation. And
he's getting emotionally involved.
I think so. I think the woman was murdered. I think he's trying to track down the killer, and I think there's like a piece of evidence that the cops missed, and he like has it. Maybe he's even like somehow involved, like inadvertently. You know what I mean?
Like if he were to reveal himself, he's like blackmailed and
something like that, or like if he revealed himself, like he would be a suspect or something like that. Ooh. But I know it's going to be actiony because I saw a still frame of him running, holding a pistol. Okay. So there's going to be some action in there. But yeah, I'm going to say private investigator, and like there's like one reel of film that like has clues on it, and he like I think he's going to get in over his head real quick. Like he's going to be like maybe like a basic private investigator that does like affairs and stuff. And then this will be his first time getting like involved with like a murder case or something.
Is that Brad Pitt?
Oh, I don't want to know.
Oh God. Yeah, 1999. Nicolas Cage.
Joel Schumacher. Who wrote this one?
That's not Brad Pitt. Let's see. I'll look it up.
All right. Don't show me. I don't want any spoilers.
We have already made a prediction at least, so we can't screw that up.
That's very true.
Joel Schumacher, director, writer, Andrew Kevin Walker.
What else is Andrew
Joaquin Phoenix is in it?
James Gandolfini.
I'm getting more excited by the moment.
I didn't want to know. Yeah, well, fuck, that would have been quite the surprise.
It is what it is.
All right.
Sorry.
Actually, no, we'll surprise.
Spoiler.
All right,
I'm not gonna look at what the writer's done.
All right, close it. Joaquin.
We've already seen too much.
Yeah, I've seen way too much. All right, so we know the mafia's involved, and the Joker clearly. All right, guys. Well, anything else we would like to add? Besides watch 8mm for the next episode?
Film, and please, guys, if you didn't watch Falling Down, watch it.
Yeah,
fantastic
check it out.
film.
And if you guys haven't seen our previous episodes, and I don't mean the super early ones, I just mean the last like 5 that we've done, please go check them out because we put a lot of work into this channel and we want people to watch our shizzit.
And please share it.
Yeah. So be kind.
Rewind.
And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below and follow us along with movies that are coming in the future. Join us.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
I want breakfast.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm really sorry, too.
Get a gun!